Welcome to the next edition of Elevate's Learning Bites. And today we're going to be discussing the G.R.O.W model. So G.R.O.W is a coaching model which we use. It's been around for about 10 or 20 years now. It's probably the most widely used coaching format that's out there. And so we're going to go through what does it actually mean and how do we incorporate it. Now, before we do that, let's just quickly reassess why it is that we coach. So coaching is all about helping others to uncover their potential, which means that we actually believe in the fact that the person that we're coaching has that potential, and then helping them to go about solving those problems themselves. So coaching isn't about telling, it's not about giving people the answers. Coaching is actually about asking the right questions at the right times to help people think differently, so that they're able to come up with their own solutions. And that's what really empowers people to create changes and to stick to those goals. G.R.O.W. What does G.R.O.W stand for? So we've got goal, reality, opinions, and the who, what, and when. If you follow this particular format, it's a really simple and easy way to be able to lead your counterpart, the person that you're coaching, through a journey that will help them to be able to start thinking differently, come up with their own solutions, and put them into action. So we start with G. G stands for goal. So in this part, we want to be asking questions that really get the person or the counterpart to really understand exactly what it is that they want to achieve. And so we'll ask questions like, what is it that you're trying to achieve today? But then also things that get them to think a bit more deeply about it. Maybe questions like, if you were to achieve that, what would that mean for you? What would the outcome of that be? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about trying to achieve this goal? So we can really start to get a feeling for what the goal is, how tied to it they are, how badly they want to achieve it. The second is about the reality. So this is where we're starting to see, okay, that's what we want to achieve over here. This is where we're at right now. And so we want to be asking questions about the reality. So questions like, what is the current situation? What does somebody else think about this situation at the moment? Trying to get them to think a little bit differently. The next is the O, or the options. And now most people have already got one or two options about how to deal with a solution. We all lay awake at night thinking about particular situations, and we get this in that feedback loop. And so what we want to do is break them out of that feedback loop. So they will come up with a couple of options. When we've set a goal, we've had a look at the reality, we say, what are you going to do about it? They've normally got a couple. The key is, and this is where coaching, the actual real coaching starts, is when we start to stretch their thinking. And so if somebody's got a couple of options, we want to push them. We want probably a minimum of 4 or 5 different options. And one of the statements that I would normally say in this situation is, I want you to come up with any ideas that you have. Nothing's off the table. There's no silly suggestions or anything like this. And by phrasing it in that way, it allows them to expand the way that they've been thinking about it in the past, and they're more likely to come up with different scenarios. Okay, and the last thing about coaching is that it always has to be action orientated. There's no point having big hypothetical conversations. What we want are things that are going to lead to actions. And so the W in G.R.O.W stands for who, what, and when. So this is essentially what are you going to do, who's going to do it, and when's it going to be done by. And there's a level of accountability that gets built into this whole process by making sure that we finish off with that W, and we can hold them to that. My other killer question for this one is, how likely do you think you are to actually take this option and put it into action? And do that on a scale of 1 to 10. That kind of gives you an idea of how well people are really bought into the decision that they've made at the end. All right, happy coaching. Get out there and support each other. All the best.